Good morning. Thank you to the organizers of BOBCATSS 2022 in Debrecen. The authors of this presentation, Institutional Repository Keyword Analysis with Web Crawler, are Isaac, Mariangela, and Jessica from São Paulo State University, Brazil. Information retrieval system is a mediating environment between a set of documents and their potential requester. Its efficiency depends on the quality of representation of information items, documents, and the requests from its users, searches. The more vocabulary standardization there is, the less mismatch between the indexed language and the search language. By representing, it is meant to create substitutes for a given object, choosing some elements for summarizing, such as abstracts, keywords, or metadata. According to Novellino, the representation is characterized mostly by a process of substituting and summarizing. The main feature of the process of information representation is the replacement of a long and complex linguistic entity, the document text, by its summarized description. Due to their growing importance, institutional repository, in addition to being an essential source of information in contemporary times, have also become an object of study, since they enable not only the conduction of research, but also the knowledge of the entire search path performed by the user. The proposal for standardization is an attempt to minimize the incompatibilities between indexed language and searched language once the repository's managers see the need to make available to users several tools that help them in their searches in order to improve the mechanisms and results of search. In this sense, this study aims at investigating metadata keywords in documents indexed in repositories. For this purpose, Web Crawler was implemented for collecting keywords from the Institutional Repository at Unesp and creating a database for analyzing keyword standardization without frequency analysis. The database generated in this study can be used to standardize and update the data bank of the above-mentioned repository and thereby improve the retrieval of relevant information. As for the methodology, the collection and extraction of authors' keywords was carried out at the Unesp Institutional Repository using a web crawler, a tool that acts as a network crawler capable of browsing through all institutional repository web pages in a methodical and automated way in order to collect data of interest to the researcher. Initially, we collect author keywords and select keywords according to the desired criteria. The product is a list of unique terms. To create the list of the terms used by the authors, web crawler was implemented. Such web crawler visited 32 pages of the Unesp repository and collected 325,181 keywords from authors registered in the indexed documents until 11 October 2021. Through data collection, it was found that the list of keywords from authors in the Unesp repository does not have control of vocabulary in natural language, as exemplified in Figure 2. In examples 1 and 2, in this Figure 2, it is possible to identify those identical words, but with uppercase or lowercase letters index different materials. In example 3, we observe that there is no plural singular treatment either, which can hinder the search for the desired material and prevent its retrieval by the user. The first criteria for vocabulary treatment were applied as in Table 1. After collecting the keywords from authors, 15.9% of them were eliminated by automated cleaning routine in order to delete duplications. Thus, the final list was composed of 273,485 different keywords, representing 84.1% of the initial list. Sequentially, Table 2 presents the quantity of terms by idiom. Documents are composed mainly of 3 languages: English 50.39%, Portuguese 25.76%, and Spanish 14.94%. It was found that the author's list of keywords composed of 325,181 records did not have any homogenization of natural language, which constitutes an obstacle to the recovery of materials and therefore requires investigation. The standardization of authors' keywords is an attempt to minimize incompatibilities between authors' vocabulary and potential readers, repository users. However, to perform this task, the repositories needed to provide users with tools that help them in their searches and consequently enable the improvement of search engines through authors' keywords. The list of keywords obtained by the extraction performed by the web crawler can offer possibilities for creating and maintaining vocabulary control tools from the alphabetic list of keywords and even thesaurus. Knowing the inconsistencies of keywords assigned by authors in documents indexed in Unesp Institutional Repository, knowledge of the current situation of stored materials is essential to propose strategies that improve the representation of materials and consequently the recovery of documents according to users' interests. Thus, the list of keywords obtained by the extraction performed by the web crawler can offer possibilities for creating and maintaining vocabulary control tools from the alphabetic list of keywords and even thesauri. But they need to undergo a strict terminological and linguistic control in order to be used. So, at the end, our references. Thank you for your attention.